If your dream doesn't scare you or have a sense of impossibility, then you're still thinking small. God wants us to be better than average thinkers. He wants to show us that the impossible is possible, but we are not giving God chance because we don't have enough faith. Ask yourself why every successful person has a unique story to tell. Hi book fanatics, welcome to Books and Biographies 101. My name is Mishak Mahai, aka The Bookworm. Our purpose is that we analyze books for people who like reading books, and also we love helping people who are lazy to read books to get the message found in books. And if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button to continue to get good food for thought. And today's in-depth review is on a book called Chase the Lion by Mark Batterson. Mark is a spiritual man. He is a man of God who wrote this book specifically about a biblical verse that he liked the most and devoted his life to, which is 2 Samuel 23 verse 20, which says, "On a snowy day, he chased a lion into a pit and killed it." So this verse is about a heroic man, a warrior named Beniah, who chased a lion into a pit and killed it. So to Mark, this is not just about an incident of killing a lion, but it's about a message of bravery that everyone should possess, more especially for those people who want to possess greatness in life, should possess the spirit of Beniah. When Beniah saw the lion, it was an incident that was unexpected. But instead of Beniah doing what everyone would have done, which is to run away for their life, Beniah did the opposite of that. He chose to risk his life to go against a lion. And that was the biggest opportunity of his life, because fighting against a lion and killing it gave him an opportunity to be King David's bodyguard and his biggest friend. So the question remains, if Beniah had the courage to kill the lion, how many things will he be afraid of doing? If he fought in a situation of life and death and succeeded, how many things will he be afraid of doing? The important message of this scripture is that sometimes opportunities hide themselves or disguise themselves into problems. You have to have a mindset of seeing an opportunity within a problem, like Beniah and the lion situation. Instead of Beniah seeing the situation as a problem, he saw an opportunity. So you have to develop a mindset of seeing a problem as an opportunity in disguise, because your mind has a tendency of giving you what you expect. If you're expecting an excuse, your mind will give you an excuse. If you're expecting an opportunity, your mind will search for the opportunity within the problem. Mark mentioned things that caught my interest in this book. The first one being a dream within a dream. So some people are living a dream within a dream. To make it simpler, let me give you an example of a father and a son. If a son is taking over the legacy of his father, the son is living a dream within a dream, because the son didn't come up with that thing. The father came up with that dream from scratch, and the son is just continuing what his father came up with. And in most cases, when the son is interested in taking over what his father already did, the son usually has twice, if not 3 times, the productivity that was made by his father. So looking at it, I looked at the example of Raymond Ackerman. Raymond was born in a family of retailers. His father also started Ackermans, and Ackermans was not that well known in South Africa. But Raymond took over the idea from his father and the lessons from his father. He started Pick and Pay, which is well known in South Africa. And the same applies to Donald Trump. His father was a constructor, but not a well-known constructor in America. But since Donald took over from his father as a constructor, he made larger buildings that are well known in America, and he is well known as the biggest constructor in America. The second one is ripple effect. So in this one, whatever decision you make, whatever deed you make, it might affect the future. Like for example, you can do great things for people, like your act of generosity, your act of kindness to someone, it might reward you in the future. Like for example, if you help a homeless person today, he might become or she might become somebody in the future whom you might need help from. So that is the ripple effect. Whatever you do now affects the future. The third one is pre-moves. So every move you take or every decision you take, it allows the other one to happen. So it's like life is a chronological event. Whatever event you take has its own step and it allows others to happen. So if you don't move at all, nothing will happen. So it's like a game of chess. Whatever move you take, it allows the other move to happen. So sometimes in life, we make things that we are not even aware of. Sometimes you might relocate from this place to another place without any kind of a reason for relocation, but only to find that moving to this other place, it's where you found your dream, it's where you found your purpose. So sometimes God does pre-moves for us. He plays us like pawns in the game of chess. So we find after some time that for me to have this kind of a future, it's because of these things that happened for me in the past. It's because of these things that I've done in the past without even being aware of. The fourth one is that Mark mentioned a very different definition of death from the one that we know. He said we don't die when our hearts stop beating. We die when we stop dreaming. And the same applies to living. You start living when you start having dreams. So if you don't have a dream that you follow, it's like you are dead. You are just a living entity on earth that doesn't have any kind of purpose. And Mark went on to say, it is better to die chasing your dreams, to die doing your own purpose, unlike just to die being somebody who's not even doing something that has a purpose on earth. The fifth one is impossible odds. Mark mentioned that God always reveals himself through the impossible odds in order to gain his glory. Like for example, when David went head to head with Goliath, everyone would expect Goliath to come out victorious. When Joshua raised his spear against 800 men, everyone would expect Joshua to die. When Elijah decided not to retreat when everyone was retreating against the Philistines, everyone would expect that it was the last day of Elijah on earth. When Beniah went into the pit with the lion, everyone would expect that the lion will be the one that comes out of the pit. But the impossible became possible because God wanted us to glorify him, because he proved that the impossible is possible. The sixth one is that Mark mentioned that success is more than just about winning or losing. It is about how you handle your adversities, how you handle disappointments, how you handle mistakes, how you handle offenses. That is how success is developed. The seventh point is that lion chasers are not normal. Lion chasers, instead of running away from what scares them, they run towards what scares them. Instead of finding a place of safety, they want a situation that scares them to their death. Lion chasers are worried about missing opportunities rather than making mistakes. So in a lot of cases, they are the ones that we refer to them as crazy, because what they do, we think they are crazy up until they come up with something that is more beneficial. The eighth one is the law of compensation. Mark mentioned that a lot of people find their greatest gift trying to compensate for their disadvantages. So it was mentioned that about 70% of artistic people who love art, they have optical or eye problems. So taking an example with DJ Spoo. When DJ Spoo was young, people used to make fun of his voice. They were saying his voice was weird. And trying to compensate for his voice, he found out that he's an artist, a singer. He's a public speaker. He's a presenter, a radio presenter, and also a TV presenter. The ninth one is that sometimes we have to use our bad situations to our advantage. instead of making excuses. Like for example, with Beniah, snowy weather was not that much of a good weather for him, but instead of making excuses, he took advantage of the weather by tracing the paw prints of a lion, since he couldn't keep up with the speed of the lion. So it is easier for us to make excuses about the bad situations that we arrive to, but it takes courage to take advantage of the bad situation. The 10th one is the difference between an ordinary courage and a 2 o'clock in the morning courage. So when we're talking about an ordinary courage, we're talking about that type of a courage whereby a person is courageous enough to do something new only if it doesn't affect the current situation. But when you're talking about a 2 o'clock in the morning courage, we're talking about the situation whereby a person makes a decision of a life or death, or a situation whereby it is a condition whereby when you lose big, and when you win big. That is a 2 o'clock in the morning courage. It takes a 2 o'clock in the morning courage to make that types of decisions. The 11th one is 80% certainty. You don't need 100% certainty or perfection to complete anything, because a lot of people who are looking for 100% certainty or perfection, they never complete anything, because they are always looking for conditions to be perfect, everything to be perfect, and it never gets perfect. So perfection breeds procrastination, and a combination of perfection and procrastination, it completely kills a dream. So you don't have to be perfect in everything. When you do 80% of the job is well done. The 13th and the last one is the company of dreamers. You must have a company of dreamers in order to dream big. You cannot dream big alone. The more you associate with people who dream big, is the more you become a big dreamer. I prefer to call it the power of association. Napoleon Hill prefers to call it the power of the mastermind. But either way, it's the same thing. So the more you keep people who are having more dreams, even bigger dreams than you, who complement what you don't know, is the more you become great as a person, and the more you become great as a group. It is like a peer pressure within a friendship. It can go bad, but whatever happens, it's contagious. If 90% of your friends are drinking, you're more likely to drink. So it happens the same with the company of dreamers. If a lot of your company are big dreamers, you're more likely to be a big dreamer. They say success is contagious. It happens the same as peer pressure. So an example mentioned by Mark, which is about King David and the 37 warriors, are a clear example of the power of association. Because if David was not there, the 37 warriors wouldn't have came together as one. And if the 37 warriors wouldn't have came together as one, David wouldn't have became the king. So it is the power of association. So the overall philosophy of this book is that you must develop a mindset of recognizing a problem as an opportunity in disguise, and also have a 2 o'clock in the morning courage to chase the lion. So if you like today's video, hit that like button, comment down below what you learned from this video, share the video with friends and family so that they get this information and be informed. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that post notification bell so that you be informed whenever I post, and probably be the first person to see my videos. Find the link of the PDF version of this book in the description below in case you would like to read the book. And other than that, I'll see you soon. Peace out.